Hello and welcome to Learn Data. It's great to have you back. I'm Nilesh and in this video we'll continue learning about pandas. In previous video we looked at how to filter data frames. In this video we'll look at how we can use categories with GroupBy and how we can use ordered factors and also how we can use the grouper to fine-tune the grouping on our data set. So let's get into Jupyter notebook and start coding. Here I've already created a new notebook and imported two libraries, NumPy and Pandas. And for data, we have this data frame df, which is from previous video. And additionally, I've created this list here for date, and we are going to use that as an index with the column df later on. So let's get started. The first item that we are going to look at is unobserved, so categories. Here let's use a series A, so pd.series, and let's say this series has 3 elements, 1, 2 and 3. And now we are going to create a categorical variable, so pd.Categorical, and here let's give the names of the fruits, say mango, mango and mango. Okay, so what we have here is we have the 3 categories used that are listed, and then we'll specify the names of the categories that are associated with this entire categorical. So categories, and here we are going to specify mango and orange. Now the reason why I've put orange here is because we are not using that here to describe the series A. We are just going to have it as unobserved. So mango is used here, therefore it is observed. So let me put it here. So mango is observed, and then here orange is unobserved. Okay, so that's the categorical categories, and that's the series A we have. Now to use that with GroupBy, what we want to do is type a.GroupBy cat dot, and the statistic we will use here is simple, we'll use count. So what we see here in the output is the counts of the values that are in A for each of these categories. So we have mango, that is 3, so 1 is associated with this mango, 2 is associated with this mango, 3 is associated with this mango, and therefore we have count is equal to 3 for mango. Orange is not there, it is unobserved, and the count that we see here is 0. Just for checking, if we change one of those to orange and then run this, we see that now the count of orange is 1, and so everything is observed. So let's go back and change that to mango again. Now what we can specify here is, if we want the code not to return the unobserved categories, we can specify observed is equal to true. So what that tells Python is that the output should contain only those categories that are observed in the dataset. So in this case only mango is observed, and therefore only that is returned in the output. And as you've probably guessed, the default in this case is false. So if you put false, we get both the values, which is the same as not putting that observed in there. So it's the same. So default is false. If you need to eliminate the false, we need to specify observed is equal to true. Next, let's look at how we can use grouping along with ordered factors. So ordered factors, And again we are going to create a series. A is equal to pd.series, and these are just going to be numbers 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 and 12. You could also use linspace here, but I just typed it out. And for factors, we are going to use pd.cut. What this does is it creates bins. So let's say bins from 0 to 3, then 3 to 6, 6 to 9, and 9 to 12. Those are the bins we are going to create, and this is associated with the series A. Therefore, we need to specify the A here. Once that is done, we can use the group by. So a.GroupBy, and we can use factor, and then for each of those groups we can calculate the mean. Okay, so before we run that, I just want to show you what factor looks like. So these are the bins. So because 1 2 and 3 fall within the range of 0 to 3 including 3, we see that those are listed here as category, as the group 1 index 0 1 2 3 is one group, 3 4 5 is another group, which starts after 3, so 4 5 6, and therefore these data points are associated with the next group. Okay, next here let's go ahead and get the mean, or why don't we get sum. When we run this, and if we look at A, we can see that the first 3 is 6, so 3 plus 2 plus 1 6, and that's what we get here. The next is 4 5 and 6, so 6 plus 4 10 plus 5 15, that's what we get here. So that's how we can bin a data set based on the ranges provided here in pd.cut. There are different types you can slice it or create bins, and all of them can be used along with the group by. Moving on, let's look at how we can use grouper. And grouper method allows you to fine-tune what groups you need. So the data frame df that we have, let's go ahead and add a column date to this data frame. And the reason why we are doing that is because we are going to group based on the year and month that appears in the date column. We could set this as an index, or we could use it as is as a column. So now let's use it as a column. So df dot group by, and here we need to specify within square brackets pd.Grouper, and there we can specify the frequency. So frequency, let's say 1 month, so 1m, and s indicates that we are looking at the start of the month, so 1s, and then we want to specify the key for that. So the key is equal to date, so that's the column which is going to be used to get the frequency of 1 month. And then again inside the square brackets we need to specify the column that can be used in along with the date. So I'm going to specify fruits, and what we can do then is get the sum. So what sum will do is get the sum for the numeric columns, which is Q, price, and quantity. So as you can see in this output, we see that the dates, they start at 0 1 because 0 and 0 1 because that's the first month, and then for we have 0 9 0 1 and 0, then we have 12 0 1, and the range is 1 month, and therefore the second month after this is 2 is not there, therefore there's nothing there. Again from 9 the next one would be 10, it's not there, so there's nothing here, and same thing for 12. For fruits, we have the categories that are associated with those date ranges. So for 0, 1, we have only mango and orange, and therefore the fruits that we see in the output is just mango and orange. And sum is just total. So for Q, it's 1 plus 2 is 3, and that's what we see for mango. Orange is just 1, and that's what we see for orange. Now, what if we change this to a larger range? So how about 6 months? So when we specify 6 months, I'm going to pull the data frame again down here. Now when we specify 6 months, we can see that the first month is the same, 0, 1 January, but then 6 months from that we are reaching to July. So June, up to June is the first group, and then starting from July it's the second group, and from July onwards we have July, which is 7 plus 6, so it goes all the way up to the end of the year, December, and therefore the rest of the data set is in group 2. So group 1 again is similar to the first one, where we had just 3 and 1 for mango and orange, but now for group 2 we have a lot many numbers. So for example, banana, we have right here we have 2 plus 1 3 plus 2 5, and that's what we have 5 here. Earlier we just had 3 for the last, but now if we add those two, 3 plus 2 plus 3, we get 5, and that's what we get here. So that's how we can use Grouper to fine-tune the grouping that we are trying to do on our data set. That was it for this video. I hope in this video you learned how to use categories along with GroupBy, and how to use Grouper along with GroupBy to kind of fine-tune the grouping. Also, we talked about how to use ordered factors binning to group data set. In next video, we'll continue this discussion on group, and we'll look at some other aspects of GroupBy. Please like, share, and subscribe. For subscribing, you can hit the bell icon below this video. Thank you, and I hope to see you all in the next video.